Fear is a natural human emotion, but it can also be a barrier to living a fulfilling life. Stoicism, a philosophy practiced by ancient Greek and Roman thinkers, provides powerful tools to confront and overcome fear. By understanding the nature of fear and learning to control our responses, we can face challenges with greater calm and clarity. We will explore 7 Stoic principles that help us master our fears and live with courage and purpose. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, which teaches that we should only concern ourselves with what is within our control and let go of what is not. Fear often arises from worrying about things we cannot influence, such as the opinions of others or the outcome of events. By recognizing that these factors are beyond our control, we can free ourselves from the unnecessary burden of fear. When we focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we empower ourselves to face challenges head-on. Fear diminishes when we realize that our reactions to situations are in our hands. This shift in perspective allows us to approach life with greater confidence, knowing that we have the ability to respond in a way that aligns with our values. By practicing the dichotomy of control, we reduce anxiety and stress, which are often rooted in fear. Instead of being overwhelmed by uncertainty, we learn to navigate life's uncertainties with a calm and rational mindset, allowing us to overcome fear with stoic resilience. Stoicism teaches us that everything in life is temporary. This principle, known as impermanence, helps us come to terms with the fact that change is inevitable. Many of our fears are tied to a resistance to change, whether it be fear of loss, failure, or the unknown. By accepting the transient nature of all things, we can let go of the fear that change brings. When we embrace impermanence, we realize that nothing lasts forever, including our fears. This understanding allows us to live in the present moment without being consumed by worries about the future. Fear thrives on uncertainty, but when we acknowledge that change is a constant part of life, we begin to see it as an opportunity for growth rather than something to dread. Stoicism encourages us to accept what we cannot change and to face the future with a sense of peace. This mindset not only helps us overcome fear, but also enables us to find beauty and meaning in life's fleeting moments. Negative visualization is a Stoic practice that involves imagining worst-case scenarios in order to reduce fear and anxiety. While this might seem counterintuitive, the purpose is not to dwell on negative outcomes, but to prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally for potential challenges. By visualizing the worst, we become less afraid of it. When we confront our fears in this way, we take away their power. The fear of the unknown is often greater than the reality itself. Negative visualization allows us to anticipate difficulties and mentally rehearse our response, making us more resilient when faced with adversity. This practice helps us build inner strength and reduce the impact of fear on our daily lives. Additionally, by imagining worst-case scenarios, we often realize that even the most challenging situations are not as insurmountable as they seem. This awareness gives us the courage to face our fears with greater confidence and composure. In Stoicism, the highest good is living in accordance with virtue. Fear, according to Stoic philosophy, is a distraction from living a virtuous life. When we prioritize virtue, such as courage, wisdom, and justice, over fear, we align our actions with our highest values, allowing us to rise above fear. Virtue helps us keep perspective in the face of fear. For example, when we fear failure, focusing on the virtue of courage reminds us that the effort we put in is more important than the outcome. Wisdom helps us see that failure is part of the learning process, and justice pushes us to act ethically, even when fear tempts us to compromise our values. By focusing on virtue, we gain clarity and direction in our lives. Fear becomes secondary to the pursuit of moral excellence, and we learn to act with integrity, even in the face of uncertainty. In this way, Stoicism empowers us to overcome fear and live with purpose. Stoicism encourages emotional detachment, not in the sense of being indifferent, but in maintaining a balanced emotional state regardless of external circumstances. Fear often stems from an over-attachment to things beyond our control, such as material possessions, status, or even relationships. By practicing emotional detachment, we can reduce the hold that fear has over us. Emotional detachment involves understanding that external events do not define our internal peace. When we detach from outcomes, we free ourselves from the fear of losing what we hold dear. This doesn't mean we stop caring, but rather that we cultivate a mindset where we are not ruled by fear of loss. By developing emotional detachment, we are better equipped to face life's uncertainties. We become more resilient and adaptable, allowing us to handle fear-inducing situations with grace and composure. Stoicism teaches us to reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Fear often arises from seeing obstacles as threats to our well-being, but by shifting our perspective, we can view them as opportunities to practice resilience, courage, and other virtues. When we embrace challenges with this mindset, fear loses its grip. Reframing fear as an opportunity encourages us to approach difficulties with curiosity and a desire for self-improvement. Instead of fearing failure, we see it as a stepping stone toward personal growth. Each fear-inducing situation becomes a chance to strengthen our character and deepen our understanding of ourselves. By adopting this mindset, we transform fear into a motivator for positive change. Stoicism teaches us that every challenge holds within it the seeds of opportunity. And by embracing this truth, we can overcome fear and live with greater courage and purpose. Finally, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of mindfulness and being fully present in the moment. Fear often arises when our minds wander into the future, worrying about things that have not yet happened. By practicing mindfulness, we can ground ourselves in the present and reduce the anxiety that comes from anticipating the unknown. Mindfulness helps us stay connected to what is happening in the here and now. When we focus on the present, we realize that most of our fears are based on future events that may never occur. By staying present, we can better manage our emotions and respond to challenges with calm and clarity. Through mindfulness, we cultivate a sense of inner peace that allows us to face our fears with greater ease. This practice helps us break free from the cycle of fear-driven thinking and allows us to live with a greater sense of peace and purpose. Overcoming fear through Stoicism is not about eliminating fear altogether, but learning how to manage it effectively. By applying these 7 principles, understanding the dichotomy of control, embracing impermanence, practicing negative visualization, focusing on virtue, developing emotional detachment, reframing fear as opportunity, and practicing mindfulness, we can face life's challenges with courage and composure. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom that helps us rise above fear, allowing us to live a life of purpose and inner strength.